What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rock and Road Show. It is Alvie. I am going solo tonight. The 1-3 had a prior commitment that he has, and he's actually on the east coast of Florida. He said he was going to try and join in tonight, so we'll see if he can. But you guys got me tonight, so hopefully we can have some fun. I got a special show for you guys tonight. I was trying to come up with something to do for the show, and I figured we're coming off of a Memorial Day weekend, and I figured I would share a personal story and remember a friend of mine, a brother of mine, and we'll go down little memory lane with Alvie, and we'll talk about this person that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. We can all remember this person. So with that, I'm going to go through all of our sponsors, and then we'll get right into what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So as always, we are brought to you by our boys, Misfit Metalworks, boys and girls. Misfit Metalworks offers CNC plasma cutting, welding, metal fabrication and prototyping services, as well as laser engraving. Contact the Misfits for all your metal needs at 813-568-7409, or you can stop by the shop at 1913 East Bears Avenue, Unit 1100B, Tampa, Florida 33613. Let them know that the Rock and Road Show sent you. We are also brought to you by Eric Warren Artistry and Dropkick Customs. Eric Warren Artistry is a custom paint and fabrication studio that specializes in turning all of your custom dreams into reality. EWA offers a one-stop shop for all your paint, metal, and fiberglass needs, welding, full powder coating, motorcycle stereo equipment, air ride systems, custom wheels, and parts development with their Epic line. You can contact Eric Warren Artistry at 813-503-4764 or stop by the shop at 13215 North Nebraska Avenue, Suite A, Tampa, Florida 33612. And of course, let Eric know that we sent you down there. Last but certainly not least, brought to you by the Franhosh Law Group. The Franhosh Law Group provides legal representation for all victims of negligence. They handle a broad range of personal injury matters, including wrongful death, car and truck accidents, motorcycle collisions, slip and fall injuries, and more. For all your legal needs, please contact the Franhosh Law Group at 866-LAW-FRAN or visit lawfran.com. Or you can stop by the offices at 1275 Nebraska Avenue, Palm Harbor, Florida, 34683. All right, now that that's out of the way, Dan, what's up? All the way from the UK. Thanks for joining, brother. And Garth, what's up, buddy? It was good seeing you on Thursday. Good to put a face to a name. It's always fun to do that. So welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Let's see here. What we are going to talk about tonight, like I said, coming off of a Memorial Day weekend, I felt it would be right, or I thought it'd be a good idea to share a personal Memorial Day story with everybody. It's getting better over the years. A lot of folks would come into Memorial Day and they would find a veteran, they think a veteran and things like that. And we have, different holidays here in the country. And Memorial Day is that day to memorialize those who didn't come home, right? Those who are no longer with us. Veterans Day is the day that you can go out and thank your veterans. But Memorial Day is for those who have fallen, those who didn't get to make it home. So now, with that in mind, I wanted to share a story with all of you about a friend of mine who we lost, almost 16 years now. So for those of you that don't know, some of you already do, but for those of you that don't know, I had the great honor of serving this country as a member of the United States Navy. I was a prior enlisted guy. Previous to my college education, I was an intelligence specialist, and then picked up the scholarship, went to college, got my degree, got my commission, and went on to flight school in the Navy. So over the course of my short time, I didn't spend a lot of time in the Navy, but over the course of my short time in the Navy, I got to meet some really great people who I call friends. I call them my brothers. And for all of those guys, I'd still do anything and everything for at the drop of a hat. Unfortunately, in that line of work, comes with risks, right? We all assume those risks when we get into that business. We all sign on the dotted line, and we all know what can happen. But it never, it just never makes it easy, right? And unfortunately, with that line of work, I've had to pick up the phone on more than one occasion to find out that something has happened to a friend of mine. And those phone calls are never easy to get, and those losses, they never get easy to deal with. And the good thing about a forum like this and Memorial Day as a whole is that we get to ensure that these people continue to live on, right? Because if we say this in Christmas at the Wreaths Across America, right? When you go to lay a wreath on somebody's grave, you say their name, because as long as you're saying that person's name, that person never really dies, right? They're still with us in one way, shape, or form. So we have that for Memorial Day for everybody, and because of a forum like this, I'm able to share my friend's story with everybody. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Hopefully I can do it justice, and hopefully I don't turn into a complete mess. But this is what we're gonna do. So one of those guys that I had to pick up a phone and find out that he wasn't coming back was a very good friend of mine and a fellow naval aviator by the name of Robert Louis Elortegui. On September 24th, I'm going to get to these comments in a minute. On September 24th of 2005, 3 sailors from HSL 44 stationed out in Naval Air Station Mayport, Florida, were killed in a helicopter crash off the coast of North Carolina. The 3 individuals that lost their lives, I'm going to put a picture up for everybody to see. 3 individuals that lost their lives were on the left-hand side there, my good friend, Lieutenant Robert L. Elortegui, pilot, 32 years old, from Miami. Bottom right corner, Lieutenant Thomas Brantley, pilot, 27, of Ahoskie, North Carolina. And then in the upper right corner, Aviation Warfare Systems Operator, 3rd Class, Nestor Otoro Lebron, 27, of Puerto Rico. As you can see there in that picture, a patch was made in their honor and their memory. Their helicopter was call sign Magnum 445. While conducting night deck landing qualifications aboard the USS Cape St. George CG-71, the pilot suffered vertigo caused by night vision goggles, spinning rotor blades, and low light conditions, which caused them to crash into the water, killing all 3 members. Debris field was found the next morning, but by 11 a.m. on September 26th, the recovery efforts were called off. And from what I can recall, none of the bodies of the 3 sailors were ever recovered. I remember getting the phone call a couple days after it happened, or 2 days after it happened, or whatever. And I did ask, did they find anything? And from what I understand, because of the vertigo they had, the aircraft, from what I understand, was intact. As far as, let me rephrase that. The aircraft, from what I understand, was a good bird. They didn't have any mechanical issues or anything like that. It was basically spatial disorientation, which it's very difficult to explain what that is, but if anybody has ever, uh, if anybody's ever done like, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Virtual reality, and you're riding, say, a roller coaster in virtual reality, but you're not actually moving, right? Your eyes and your brain see something, but your body isn't feeling it. Everything gets out of whack, and you start to feel dizzy. You start to get sick, so forth and so on. That's basically that's a form of spatial disorientation. Now, vertigo's a really weird one, and a lot of helicopter pilots get this more often than any other pilot because they have a big fan that spins above their head all the time. So if they get sun, especially in the middle of the day where the sun's directly above the rotor, as the rotor spins, you get strobe lighting effect. They call it flicker vertigo. So you get a lot of that. You get and you get used to it, and your body finally gets used to it. But from what I understand, they were doing night quals. They were wearing night vision goggles. It was a like a moonless night, so it was pitch black basically, and they just got a case of vertigo. And the only thing you can do when you suffer from vertigo or any kind of spatial disorientation is to just hone in on your instruments and trust them and do what they say is going on. And that's sometimes easier said than done. And if you can imagine being in a helicopter at night vision goggles, your vision is limited to a very small area. And then add to that vertigo, and then add to that you're at low level because you're trying to land on a pitching deck of a small cruiser, So that it goes into a lot of things there. But I remember getting the call, and I remember asking if they were able to recover the guys. And from what I understand, when the helicopter hit the water, it was moving a pretty good clip, and it almost disintegrated on impact. So, that would call that's why they weren't able to find much of anything going on. So that's the official story from the Navy. Okay, that's what happened. It's unfortunate. It's a terrible accident. But unfortunately, in the military, that happens, and unfortunately, in aviation, accidents happen, and people don't come away from it. So, why do I bring this up? I kind of talked about this earlier, but why do I bring this up on a motorcycle show? Well, it helps us not forget what Memorial Day is really all about. While I have this one story that I'm telling you guys tonight, there are thousands of others out there who have similar stories of friends, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers that they never get to see again. But I figured that we'd use tonight's show so that we could show what this guy, Mr. Robert Louis Elortegui, meant to so many of us. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Dan, it's got to remember and talk about who helped us and our countries. Absolutely. Dan, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining. Okay, so what's interesting about Rob, Rob was an immigrant. Rob was born in Venezuela. He moved to the country with his family. They moved to Miami. After high school, Rob decided that he wanted to help support and defend the Constitution. He joined the Navy, and he became a dental tech, and went on to join the Fleet Marine Force and served as a medic to the Marines. So for those of you that don't know, the Marines don't have a medical corps. The Navy sends our corpsmen, our dentists, all that stuff to help to serve as medics for the Marines. So you can't join the Marines and be a medic. You have to join the Navy, join the Fleet Marine Force, then you can become a medic for the Marine Corps. But that's what Rob did. So Rob had the cool distinction of being a Navy guy who's also a Marine. It's an interesting thing. I have several friends that were in the medical field in the military or in the Navy that went this exact route. So it's a very cool thing, and it's actually quite difficult too. It's not, because you think about it, you go to boot camp, you do all the things that you're supposed to do. You go to learn how to be a doctor, a medic on a boat, on a ship somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Vastly different than serving as a medic in a combat zone for Marines. So just a really, really interesting deal. But after spending some time as an enlisted man in the Fleet Marine Force, he decided to put his package in, and he got picked up for what we called the Seaman to Admiral program. And basically, long story short, you take an enlisted man, you send him to school, he gets his commission, or he gets his degree, gets his commission, and becomes an officer in the United States Navy. So that's what he did. He got his degree, he was commissioned an ensign in the United States Navy, and then he had orders to flight school. Later went on to, of course, fly helicopters for the Navy. This is where me and Rob's paths collide, right? I went kind of a similar route as Rob. The way I did it was I joined the Navy, went to boot camp, went to school, became an intelligence guy, and then I picked up the ROTC scholarship. So I actually was discharged from the Navy, went to school, got my degree, and then was commissioned into the Navy. So I have a kind of a spot there of 4 years where I wasn't, quote unquote, in the Navy. Whereas Rob's program, he was in the Navy the entire time. So just two different programs. There are a couple different ways to do it. They've kind of narrowed it down so you don't have as many ways to do it. But anyhow, I showed up. We went to school at Jacksonville University up in Jacksonville, Florida. I showed up, and the way that program worked for us was we show up, and then we had to do like a mini boot camp type of situation for like a week, I think it was. I think it was a week. And that boot camp program was run by upperclassmen. So your juniors and seniors. I think sometimes some of the sophomores would get into it too. But and it's basically kind of what you think it is. It's a crash course in the military, understanding that the ROTC program and the ROTC scholarships generally were given to kids coming out of high school. There were a few of us at that school that I went to. There was a lot of us who were prior enlisted guys. So we had already done real boot camp and all that stuff, spent some time in the fleet, and then showed up here. So it was kind of a way to kind of get everybody to become a team, right? Just like regular boot camp is. And I remember Rob was one of the call them drill instructors, whatever you want to call it. And I just remember Rob had a very distinct voice. He had a very one of those projecting voices too, but he was he was just a goofball. He was serious when he needed to be, but Rob was always I want to say like Rob was the center of attention, but not in a bad way. Like Rob was always just loud and making people laugh, and he just had a way about him. And him and his best friend, a guy by the name of Nate, they basically would get these new guys coming in, and he they kind of found the guys that they were that they liked, so to speak, and they kind of took us all under their wings, and they're like, we're going to take care of you guys. So that's how I met Rob, and it was awesome because after that, you come out of that little boot camp thing, And it was great because, as a freshman coming into a college, you don't know anybody. So then we showed up here. We did this thing for a week. Now we know everybody, right? Everybody that was shown, in the ROTC program, anyways. But you've got, all the guys that showed up for that in-doc type thing, and then you got all the people that were there working. So you got to meet all those folks, and after the whole thing was over, they'd take you out and you go out for a beer or whatever. But that's how we met, and it was kind of, boots to the ground, so to speak, after that, and it was just a friendship that would develop over the years, and Rob and Rob and Nate would just kind of led from the front, man. It was funny because I remember Rob and Nate so let me rewind a bit. When we got into that whole boot camp thing, and we were all talking, they were like, "You guys," thanks, Jen. "You guys don't join a fraternity. Fraternities are bullshit. Don't do it. This is, we'll be our own fraternity," and that was kind of the thing, and we ran with it for a while. And I remember my sophomore year. This would have been Rob's junior year. Rob and Nate joined the fraternity. And we were all like, "Whoa, what the hell, man? What's going on?" And then it was like it was like a domino effect, because Rob and Nate joined, and then it was just like, then my buddy Rick joined, and all these guys just start joining, and it was because of Rob and Nate, that because of Rob's just big presence and big nature, that he would just he was like a black hole, man. He sucked everybody in, and you wanted to be around him. And so, that's what we did. And we all joined a fraternity, and we had a blast, man. Everybody says we own the school, and I'll go to my grave saying that we did own that school, but man, we had some of the craziest and most insane and most fun times, almost borderline illegal, in those years while we were in school, man. It was just, it was too much fun. There's no reason we should have had that much fun, but we had it. And like I said, man, Rob was just special, man. Rob, he had a way with people. He was a people person. He definitely, anybody who knew him will tell you to this day, Rob had a way with the ladies. Rob wasn't a bad looking dude either, and he just, he was just that guy, man. He would do anything for his friends. He would help anybody out that needed help. It didn't matter to him, man. He was a special human being. And those kind of people are put here for us, and they're taken away from us. So, the kind of guy Rob was, like, he graduated a year before me, went to flight school, and he graduated a year before me, went to flight school, and same thing there, man. He just, he had that way. So when I finally graduated college and was lucky enough to select aviation, and it was about a month or so before I ended up going to Pensacola. I rented a house. It's a kick-ass house right on Perdido Key out in Pensacola. If anybody's familiar with the Floribama, I lived walking distance from the Floribama. But the house wasn't ready I was when I was moving out there. So I reached out to a bunch of guys that I knew, and I was like, "Look, I need a spot, man. I don't have a I don't have a place to stay." And Rob, calls me up. He goes, "Dude, you got a couch. You can come stay here as long as you need, man. Don't worry about it." At this point, he was already in helo training out at Whiting Field, but he had him and a good friend of ours, Haji Sharif. He was they were living together, and both of those guys, Sharif's another amazing human being. But yeah, they were just like, "Dude, don't worry about it. Come crash at our place." And it was awesome because I remember we would, I didn't have anything going on. I wasn't working. I hadn't checked in yet. I wasn't supposed to check in for like another week and a half or something like that. So I was basically just waiting for my house to become open so I can move all my shit into it. I was waiting on another buddy of mine that was going to be my roommate there. And so I was just there doing nothing. And I remember those guys would come home from work, and Thursday, Friday night, we jump in the car, we head down to Pensacola Beach or over to Destin or wherever we were going, and just tear up the town. And the great thing was, and I think Rob may have done this on purpose, but the funny thing is our good friend Sharif, Sharif's a Muslim, so Sharif didn't drink. So we would always go downtown or wherever we were going, and Sharif would drive. So we had like a built-in DD because Sharif was Rob's roommate. I don't think that will ever go down, as that's why Rob chose Sharif as a roommate, but but I have a pretty good feeling that has a little bit to do with it. Rob was just the kind of guy that would make friends anywhere, man. He had one of those souls that we all wish we had. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a water. I need water or something. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, he just had that soul, man. The one we all wish we had, and the one that we're all better for having known somebody like that in our lives. So, Rob never had a bad bone in his body. I don't think you'd find anybody out there that didn't like the guy. He was just that dude. He was he was a good man, a great friend, a great pilot. And he's a true patriot. So Rob was survived by his parents and his brother. Um, every year, a few CrossFit gyms in Orlando are the guy that I was talking about earlier, Nate, his good friend. Nate went on. He was in the Navy as well. Nate went on as a surface warfare guy, and he got out of the Navy. And when he got out of the Navy, he went into business for himself. And guys, I'm not ignoring your text, but I'll get to him in a minute. Yeah, so Nate went into business for himself, and he started a CrossFit gym, Broken Chains, out of Orlando. And him and another gym, they do a workout every year to pay homage to those three guys. They do a workout every year for charity. They raise money for charity doing it, and it's called the Magnum 445 workout. It's a son of a bitch. I'm hoping I can get out there this year to do it. It's like 10 different movements, all 44 reps. So it's like 44 push-ups, 44 sit-ups, 44 box jumps, a bunch of other stuff, and then you finish it off with 5 handstand push-ups. It's a grinder, but it's just you just suffer through it for to pay homage to those guys. And then this might be harder than I thought, but what I wanted to do was share some posts with you guys of friends of ours. All these people knew Rob in one way, shape, or form. Many of them were classmates. Some were. I know one was a girlfriend of Rob's at one time. One was a super good friend of his that he had for years. So I'm not going to name the people that put it out there, but if they hear it, just know that these were the ones that kind of touched me. So one was his memory is a blessing. He wasn't born on U.S. soil, but how he loved this great nation. He lost his life for you, for me, and for our freedom. He died doing what he absolutely loved. He was the best of the best, and his life still impacts many. Today with tears, we honor you, Rob, and the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Another one was just says, missing my good buddy Rob Relotegui on this Memorial Day weekend. I wish I could put into words how awesome of a person and a friend you were. It's a lot easier typing this stuff up today. And then the last one, this one, as I'm reading it here, it's 100% true. The passing of time doesn't soften the blow of today. Rob, Nick, and Nestor, you're missed today and every day. So that's just a few. Yeah, like I said, putting the show together today, I was like, oh yeah, this will be fine. I can do this. Boy, was I wrong. I'm just throw some pictures up real quick. So yeah, that's Rob. Um, Das Boot, man. Das Boot. Um, yeah, I'm not sure where they took the picture at, but a beer in hand is always a good time. And then that it's a picture of Rob getting ready to do what he did, man. Yeah, and I don't know if I did say this or not, but the helicopter that's pictured there, that's a SH-60, so that's what he was flying when he went down. But yeah, I mean, just awesome dude, man. And again, those are the three. Those are the guys that went down. Man, you think that 16 years would be enough time. Well, I didn't intend this to be 40 minutes of you guys having to watch me cry. Rob, miss you, brother. All right. Now, I get the distinct privilege to read your guys' comments and hope I can make it through those too. So here we go. Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks Bobby. Thanks Eric. Appreciate that, man. Kim, thank you, baby. She did bring me a ice cold beverage. So, thank you, baby. Dan, we love our team. Mate, we become our friends, if not family. You're doing great. Thanks, brother. 1-3 checking in from Orlando. Stopped for dinner, heading to Melbourne. Garth, all good. Alvie, thanks, man. Had Dan Allen, my old Stormy grads. Yeah, man. 04 Bama, that was a hell of a spot, dude. We used to tear it up out there. Hey, Robin, what's going on? Just, thank you so much. Moving tribute. Thank you very much. He'd be very happy. Yeah, he's. You know, the funny thing is, he's probably up there looking down at me, calling me weak for crying. Because that's the kind of guy he would have been. Your brotherly love is amazing. Keep telling the story always. Yeah, Robin, thanks for those kind words. He was tremendous, man. Dan saying I'll drink one and honor. I appreciate that. Let's see. 1-3 wanted you to know he's sorry. He could have been there to support you tonight. No, it's all good. It's all good. Real action hero, absolutely. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate that. Dan, thanks again, man. Tragic, terrible, take it too early. No, Rob is smiling down on you. One day you guys will reunite and be able to reminisce. Absolutely. when we get to Valhalla. Yeah, Dave, I'm with you there, man. All right. Well, like I said, I wasn't trying to make this a 40-minute video of of me crying, but I got halfway through it. I got halfway. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, talk about some events coming up, and then I'll come back and say some my kind of final thoughts and everything. But I guess kind of regroup with something other than this for right now. So, all right. So let's talk about some events we got coming up. Mega Poker Run, Saturday, July 17th. That's right around the corner. It's like 2 weeks from now. Birdsburg Cuda Harley Davidson Poker Run for your chance to win a '06 Street Bob, valued around $6,500, or you can win $5,000 in cash. Best poker hand wins the motorcycle or the cash. Winner's choice. Second place gets $1,000. Third place gets $500. You can register online or at the day of the event. If you need more information on how to register online, go to Full Throttle on Facebook, and they have all the information there. If you pre-register at Bert's Barracuda, they'll give you a free t-shirt as well. The poker run starts and ends at Bert's Barracuda, a couple stops along the way. Registration's at 10 to 1, and it's $40 for 3 hands, so not bad. Live spike in at 6 o'clock. Winners are announced at 7. They do have some small print. You need to have they need to sell at least 300 poker hands for you to win the $5,000 cash. If they get less than 300 poker hands, then they're just giving away the bike. There will be no cash option. The second and third place prize will stay the same. Events rain or shine, everybody's welcome. Like I said, go to Full Throttle on Facebook, facebook.com/Full Throttle Florida, Full Throttle Magazine, or you can give them a call at 727-935. Supposed to have a thing up here for this too. 727-935-4875, and they'll give you all the information that you need for that event. Next event we'll talk about is the Fire and Iron event. I just got sent this weekend from our good friends over at Fire and Iron. This event is August 28th. It's at the Lake Square Mall, which is up in Leesburg, 10401 US 441 in Leesburg. Registration is from 9:30, and from 9:30 to 10:15. Kickstands up at 10:30. It's $20 a person. They're going to have a police escorted ride by the Lake County Sheriff's Office over to Gator Harley Davidson. I think it's Lake County LCSO. I think it's Lake County Sheriff's. Live music by the White Buffalo from 11:30 to 3:30. If you haven't heard the White Buffalo, man, that's a cool dude. Really cool music. He did a bunch of songs for SOA. He didn't do the theme song, but he did a bunch of songs that were thrown into the episodes throughout the year. So super cool dude. Really good voice. But yeah, definitely go check that out. Food's going to be provided by Firefighter Charity Alliance. Full bar by the NAM Nights MC. There will be vendors, a silent auction as well as a live auction. They have a 50-50 as well. And all proceeds will benefit the Children's Burn Foundation of Florida. We all know we're very invested in the Children's Burn Foundation. So please, if you guys are around and you're able to join that event August 28th, please go out there. Support our brothers over at Fire and Iron, and our brothers and sisters over at Fire and Iron, and help raise some money for an amazing cause. And then coming off the heels of that, we will have our September 11th anniversary memorial ride. Obviously, it's September 11th this year because it falls on a Saturday. It is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. It's going to start at Quaker Steak and Lube. Registration's at 11. It goes through registrations from 11 to 1, and kickstands up at 1. Last bike in at 6:30. It's $20 a rider, $10 a passenger, and you can buy an extra hand for $10. $100 for first prize, $50 for second prize, $20 for the worst hand. Trophies for all winners. Again, proceeds will go to benefit the Children's Burn Camp. We are still looking for vendors and sponsors. We have a bunch that have committed for us right now, so that's kind of cool. I think what we're going to end up doing, we've kind of talked about it. We might add a couple stops, but we definitely want to do some stops at some firehouses along the way. So we're going to have to get with our guys over at Fire and Iron and see if they can help us set up a stop into the firehouses to at least drive by, honk the horn, say thanks, do what we can. But that's kind of the idea. We want to, because of it being the 20th anniversary, we kind of want to pay respects to those guys as well. So those are the events we got coming up. I believe we'll have a normal show next week. I think I should be in town. Sydney, we will, absolutely. We definitely got to do that because we got to lock that in sooner than later because it keeps sneaking up on us. So we'll definitely be in touch. But yeah, I think next week, I don't believe I'm out of town, so we should be able to do a regular show next week. We've had a couple of off weeks here. Apologize for that. It's just work schedule kind of sucks lately. It's gonna get worse before it gets better for me. But hopefully we'll be able to do. If we can't do a show where me and One3 are together, then we'll be able to do a show via Skype or whatever. But yeah. So. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the kind words. It was definitely harder to get through this than I thought it was going to be. Thank you again. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for letting me get through that. It's funny because. I go through Memorial Day, and Memorial Day obviously has very Memorial Day has very different meaning to some of us, and while things are still. You're still out there and enjoy, because you got to enjoy the day, right? Because the day is there for us to remember those that didn't get to come home. So you've got to enjoy the day and enjoy the freedoms that those individuals died for, really. But it was funny because while Rob is always in the back of my mind and in my thoughts. And, the sad part is Rob's not the only one. I've got several friends that haven't come home. Rob's just, Rob's the one that meant the most for me, right? Because we were so close. But the funny thing is that whole weekend, I spent the weekend with family. We were out in Orlando. We were celebrating Kim's grandfather's 90th birthday, which is incredible. And then we were also doing kind of a rehash, so to speak, of my birthday because I had to work. So got to hang out with I call them my other family, my other brothers and sister, and we did some fun stuff. But in the breaks and in the pauses between the games and all the stuff that we were doing, you're going through Facebook and a picture of Rob popped up on my Facebook because the cool thing, what's really cool, and I think it's an amazing thing, is he still has a Facebook. His Facebook is still active. I believe his brother keeps it active, and people just you can go to Rob's page and you can scroll for hours, and it's just people sharing different stories about him, different pictures about him, and it's so cool because you can because it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but well, I guess I do not explain. It's kind of like, you have all these friends that you grew up with, right? That you were either in high school with or in college with or you served in, the military with, or you worked with at one point in time, but you changed jobs, but you still have Facebook and you can still connect with those people, even though you may not have their phone number or a way to get in touch with them. You can still use Facebook to get in touch with them. And it's kind of the same with Rob, because even though he doesn't get older, right? He's just like Matthew McConaughey. I just stayed. I get older, they stay the same age, right? That's Rob. He just stays the same age. And we all get old, we all get gray, and his page is still there, and you can still go back, you can still look, and you can still connect with him digitally too. So it's just cool that they kept that going. But man, I'll tell you, there's just an incredible number of stories that different people have had that where Rob has touched their lives and continues to touch their lives even today. We had a good friend of ours. He was older. He was actually older than Rob. So he was. I want to say that he graduated the year I came into college, if I'm not mistaken, or it was kind of in that age bracket there. But Rob and Nate kind of not forced him, but kind of egged him on to go do the Gate River Run in Jacksonville, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a 10K, and the last mile or whatever of that 10K is you run the Matthews Bridge in Jacksonville. And if anybody's ever been to Jacksonville, it's the blue steel bridge that connects downtown with kind of over the St. Johns River. If you ever seen a football game, a Jaguars football game, you see that bridge. But that bridge sucks because it's steep going up and it's steep going down. But they kind of got him to do it, and he, as long as he's been healthy, he hasn't missed a Gate River Run since Rob passed away. So from 2005 until this last one, he's run in every single one as long as he was. I think he missed one in the whole time, and he does it. He continues to do it just as a way to honor and remember Rob. So like that, he still touches. He's still influencing people's lives even almost 16 years later. But yeah, man, Rob was a special person, man. We all loved him. He was taken way too early, but unfortunately, and I've said this 100 times over and Rob's just one example of it, but it's always, for some reason, I don't know what it is, man, but those that burn so bright, that are just I'm just, like I said, that soul, right? That soul that we all wish we had, but we're all better for knowing somebody like that. Those guys and girls are always the ones taken way too soon. And I don't know why. They're just put on the earth long enough to kind of give you hope, I guess. I don't know. And then they just got to go back, and there's another job for them somewhere else. So that's how I feel about Rob, man. Just way too soon. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for letting me do that. Thank you for, like I said, sticking with this program, this episode as long as you did. I know that being on the other side sometimes is extremely difficult to watch somebody just cry their way through something. So I appreciate everybody that stuck around. For everybody who commented tonight, thank you so much. Your words were very kind, and I appreciate every single one of you. And what I want everybody to do is think about those people that didn't get to come home. I know I would venture to say that just about every single one of you out there knows of somebody who didn't make it home. And think about the families of those people, because you see the impact that those losses have on friends, but their families, it hits them even worse. So before you guys go to bed tonight, and every Memorial Day from today forward, just put those people in your thoughts. Put those people who, those families who don't get to have that phone call, don't get to go to that wedding, don't get to see their kids grow up, don't get to, all that stuff. Put those people in your thoughts tonight before you go to bed, because coming off of Memorial Day weekend, that's what it's all about. We remember those that we lost, but we want to make sure that we remember the families of those guys and girls that we lost. So for everybody out there who has a frosty beverage, I will end tonight, not with my usual sign off, but I will end tonight with a cheers to my brother, my friend, and a patriot, Rob Reller-Teggy. Love you, brother. Bye, guys.